Hey guys, welcome to the Life on Purpose podcast. It's Ella and Ella from Grow with the Flow. Here we explore all things personal growth and self-discovery.
We hope to inspire you, empower you to explore your growth, and to remind you that you're never alone. So let's get right into it. Let's grow.
Hey guys, welcome to our very first podcast episode. We're so happy that you're here and that you found us, and really that you've just become a part of the Grow with the Flow community.
I'm here too. Hello. Ella with two L's.
For those of you that don't know us, we are Ella and Ella, and we just wanted to talk today basically to share with you kind of what Grow with the Flow is and how it came to be. So this will become a space where you guys get to join us for conversations and really what goes on with Grow with the Flow behind the scenes.
Yeah, we figured we spend so much time talking to each other that we might as well just start recording our conversations.
That's just the printer in the background. You guys can hear that.
Yeah, so we just pretty much wanted to have you guys be like a fly on the wall in the Grow with the Flow headquarters. We have so many conversations here with each other about our own personal journeys and our own growth, and we just feel it's such an important aspect to just our growth. So we thought, why not bring a microphone in and just let you guys listen along with us? So we're really, really, really excited to start this podcast and have you guys here with us.
So we wanted to, first of all, our very first episode, we wanted to just really emphasize what Grow with the Flow is all about. And if you guys have been following us over on Instagram, we try to share snippets, but we felt like the podcast and like hearing us talk about it would be our best way to get the message across. So really what Grow with the Flow is all about is empowering you to rediscover yourself. That is like the simplest way we can put it. All the little details that we share and that we will teach you fall in between, and they're all so important, but that's our overarching theme. So everything stems from that. So self-discovery, personal growth, personal development, inspired living. I'm sure you guys have seen a lot of our posts. Energy, living with intention is super important to us. So if there was one sentence that could sum up what we do, it's helping you rediscover yourself.
Yeah. And just ultimately live a happier and more joyful life. Like, we really want to reach those people that are feeling maybe uninspired, unmotivated. If you're feeling like you're stuck in a rut, it doesn't have to be that way. We want to inspire everyone to know life, we're here to live our lives and live a happy life. And so, yeah, that's like our biggest mission is to inspire you. And okay, no,
we're just very excited about all of this.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's our biggest reason why we're here, because we want everybody to know that life doesn't have to be that way. You're not alone. We've been through it as well. And yeah, let's just grow and be happy.
And that ultimately you deserve to feel this way. Everyone's born worthy. So if you're feeling, or if you're going through the feels of, not being worthy, or it's not for you, we want to remind you that it 100% is.
Yeah.
And going into like how we became Grow with the Flow, a huge part of why we created it is because both Ella and I had similar struggles and similar stories to tell about our personal growth journeys. And we want to start off by saying we are nowhere near perfect. We're not on the other side of it. We're probably somewhere in the middle. Who knows? It's never going to end. But we want to share with you guys as much as we can from things that we've learned, from things that we continue to learn, things that come up in our lives and experiences. And if it can help you guys in any way, maybe like Ella said, feel any less alone or a little bit inspired that day, then we consider everything we do a success. So we just want to remind you that we're going along this journey with you, and that we want you guys to be, like happy to reach out to us or talk, or if you are looking for community, like we are literally right there with you. I can't emphasize that enough. And again, that was a huge part of the reason we started Grow with the Flow. We had a lot of similar stories, and when we started to like really open up with each other, when we had met, we really talked about the struggles that we faced, and we realized that a lot of it was overlapping. And really talking it through with somebody that was going through it made it so much easier, and actually helped us see a lot of the benefits and the exciting bits, you know, because it doesn't have to be so scary, even though that there are times where it's like absolutely terrifying. There's so much changing. We found a lot of peace and comfort talking to each other about it.
Yeah. And also there's that cool stuff too, right? That maybe you're like, I don't know if I can say this to like the people that you usually talk to, but you're really excited about something that you just discovered. Like, I don't know, it could be anything, like human design to aliens to fermented food. You know what I mean? Like anything that you discover that's helping you or makes you feel good. We just found so much comfort in being like, hey, have you ever heard of this thing? Like not me feeling like you could say that to somebody else. And then the other person's like, no, that's so cool. Tell me all about it. Or yeah, I have, but I've never talked to anyone about it before. So there's going to be lots of ups and downs, I guess. But the ups are like so fun, and the downs we're just right there with you. So we just want to keep kind of reiterating that. And yeah, we just want to share all the cool stuff that we've learned. We want to hear from you guys. We want to hear what you guys have learned. Maybe we've never heard about it. We'd love to incorporate any questions that you guys have on these episodes and just kind of get into it.
And that's really what it is, right? Is we realize a big part of any sort of personal growth work or self-development, self-discovery is finding your authentic voice. So when you work through all these things, or you kind of start to discover and explore and dabble down these roads that maybe you haven't dabbled down before, you end up finding like rediscovering like who you are, like what do you love, like what excites you. And through that, like again, circling back to like our story, Elle and I found that in each other. And then we realized, you know, if we feel this way, there's so many people out there that could benefit from like having these conversations and just opening up the doors to all these conversations. And yeah, we love to learn. We love anything personal growth. Ella mentioned human design, like we're obsessed with human design. And we're just learning how many of these, like there's so many modalities out there that have helped us get closer to living in flow for each other, if that makes sense. So learning about things that kind of remind us of who we are and really help establish the idea that like it's okay to do that. That works for me. And that's a huge part of why we do what we do.
Totally. I second that.
We'll be laughing a lot too. So.
Yeah. Because we're just sitting here in the office staring at each other. It's not one of these fancy like podcast rooms.
Studio. No, yeah. By no means.
Do you want to talk about how we started Grow with the Flow?
Yeah.
It's our like favorite story.
It's really cute. So I'll tell you the story of how the idea came to us. So we use words like, and it depends where you guys are at or if you've heard terms like this, but we'll use the word download quite a bit. And when we say download, what we're referring to is like an idea that just came straight into our minds. And we're at the stage now in our relationship where we just like blurt it out, whether or not it like makes sense in that moment. So I'll start the story with, we had this download. We were at the gym together, walking on treadmills. So we were like wrapping up our workout, and we just started like venting to each other. Just, you know, the year prior. So this would have been a year ago today, where it's March 2023. And we just started to, you know, talk about everything in our lives, our work, our relationships, our energy levels, and everything that Ella was saying or I was saying. We were both just like, yeah, oh my God, I totally get it. Like, yes, yes.
It literally, like, we usually just cool down on the treadmill and just have a chat. But then Ella was like, how's it going? Like, what's going on? And that's exactly how it started. And I was like, you know what? I don't know. I don't know how it's going. I don't know what I'm doing.
And it's crazy because at this time, like we had been friends, and the year before, about 7 or 8 months before, we had done this like amazing life coaching certification, all sole purpose. And I remember at the time we just wanted to do it because we just wanted to. There was no real reason for it at the time, which makes it very interesting how it turned out. But in that moment, it was just like, I don't know why I need to do this, but I need to do this.
I know, that's so true. It wasn't like, I'm going to be a life coach now.
No.
It was like, I just want to, it was almost like I wanted to life coach myself.
Yep.
Like, know how to like.
1,000,000%. Yeah. It was like, I just want to learn more about how to like crack the shell open. Mm-hmm. And that's what it was for like a good chunk of time until we had this conversation. Like it just kind of existed in both of our worlds for no real specific reason other than to like better ourselves. And then when we realized that we were both, and the thing is like, we're very fortunate. We're both like, we're very lucky in life. You know, we're very happy. Like we're very blessed to have what we have, but we're both feeling a lack of like purpose.
100%.
And the things that we were doing, we were like, what's the actual, like, what's the intention behind that? Like, I don't know. Again, if you guys follow us on Instagram, we talk about life audits all the time because we're like, we're just going through the motions. Like, why am I doing that? And then we just started to go down this rabbit hole of like, wouldn't it be cool if there were like this platform that discussed like personal growth and self-discovery? Like that would have been amazing and da-da-da-da-da. And then like one thing led to the next.
Yeah. And it was like, we're always following up what we're saying with like, I don't mean to sound like ungrateful, and that's like such a big lesson because we're both living in the Caribbean on this beautiful island. We have friends that we love. We have partners that we love. We have this life, these jobs that we're good paying and like fine. But there was that thing missing, that essence of like, but I'm not doing what I want. And it's from the outside, it's like, you should be the happiest person in the world. And I feel like there was like some guilt on both of our ends, just like, but it's not
the thing.
And yeah. Like, there's something else. Like that there was this calling and I still couldn't like quite put my finger on it. But I was like, but I know, like I have a great life. I know. And then both of us were like, I know what you mean. And there was like, there's something bigger that I need to be doing, that I want to be doing. Like my heart was like yearning for this.
So long story short, we went on, I don't even know how long we stayed on the treadmills for. It wasn't a workout by the end of it, as you can imagine. We actually decided to just scrap that. And we went across the street and pulled out a notepad and we're like, hey, let's do this. Like we have all these ideas. We wish that this existed. And we're finally like, well, why don't we create this? Like, why, like, just because something doesn't exist like this, why can't we create something new? And then we can bring everything that we've learned, every sort of life experience that has brought us to this point into one place where we can share it with people that want to grow, people that need to hear a message like this. And what kept coming into our minds, and I remember this so perfectly, was I could have used something like this a few years back. I could still use something like this. I could still really use an outlet or a platform that I can come to for inspiration or for tips on, navigating through certain things. Mm-hmm. And we kept thinking about our younger selves and how it would be like a dream. And it was a dream that overlapped for both of us, a dream of ours to talk to like our 21-year-old self or our 19-year-old self or our 16-year-old self or our 25-year-old self and just be like, it's gonna be okay. Like everything that you're going through, it's like, you don't need to do this alone. And, it doesn't have to be scary. Like self-discovery can be so beautiful. And we talk a lot and we're really going to focus on that in the podcast and emphasize the beautiful things that come out of exploring who you are at your core.
And also just the message of like, you are perfect as you are. I believe in you. Like everything's going to be okay. You don't have to change everything about yourself. And all of those anxieties of like, what am I even doing? It's like, that was like such a big message of just, we kept just being like, we want to inspire people. Like we kept getting like full body goosebumps at the word inspiration. Like that was like the foundation from the beginning. Like we just want to show people that you can do whatever you want. You are good enough. You don't have to change everything about yourself. All you need to do is learn who that person is and then go with that, you know?
And we wanted to, and from that, we were like, okay, if we can just break it down, break everything down. So if today you can try or you can form one new habit or just learn one new thing about yourself, not even a daily thing, once a week, just make it so that it's a journey that's every little bit moves you forward. You know, it doesn't have to be like this 48-hour transformation where you just like let go of everything that's not serving you. It's like, that's not realistic. We get that.
Abs.
6-second abs. Exactly. Like we wanted to just make this a journey that you get to enjoy. And that's pretty much the gist of it.
Yeah,
like,
that was it. And then we were like, what should we call it? And it went from everything like, and then we'll do this on our Instagram and we'll do retreats. And we went all the way down like 10 years.
It's so funny looking back on it now. I'm like, we were ambitious.
Yeah.
We are ambitious. We're going to do it.
And then I was like, okay, well, what should we call it? And Ella said, so we started talking about words like, well, it should have the word flow, and we like the word grow. Literally.
Yeah.
And
we had a list of words. We still use those list of words. There are words.
And Ella was like, oh my God, what about grow with the flow? And it's been grow with the flow ever since that 10 minutes of
it didn't even
together.
flicker. Like from that day, that's just wild.
Yeah.
I get goosebumps thinking.
And then that was it. That was on February 8th, 2021. And we've been working on this consistently every single day and every single week ever since. And that's how we got here. So that's so cool.
Yeah, it's so interesting to hear it like almost a year later. And it's that thing, for me at least, and I think the same for you, is like that one missing piece.
Yeah.
It's like, I just needed a place and a thing that was bigger than me, that was like a chance to help people.
Yeah.
Because it's like you have these ideas, you're like, I want to help people. And then you kind of get in your own way. Like the imposter syndrome is so real. Oh, you're like, well, why am I going to do it? Why would they listen to me over that person? Or like, what am I sharing that's different from so-and-so with millions and millions of followers? And I could literally cry thinking about this. The one thing that I missed this part of the story. We were talking about how the things that really like give us full body chills or like make us feel very much like we're on the right path was hearing people in our own personal lives mention how when we shared something or when we said a certain thing or when we posted that one thing that it inspired them, or like, thank you so much for sharing that. Like it could be you post, on your story and it's an inspirational quote and, 500 people view it. That's amazing. But what was really getting us was the 1, 2, 3 people that sent private messages saying like, I needed that. And that was like such a sign that this is exactly what we were meant to do together, because that was it. It's like, we're going to get to create something that's bigger than us. And that what gets us going every single day. Like, that's just the reality of things, right? You're going to have days where you're like super motivated and super inspired. And then you're going to have days where it's hard. Like, and we have days like that. And it's just constantly, we're just constantly reminded of like the person that's like excited to see that post or excited to learn something new or excited to feel like, oh my God, I felt that way too. That was everything for us at the beginning. That's still everything. And I think it's like what's going to fuel Grow with the Flow for years to come.
Yeah. 1,000,000,000%.
So cute. We're just looking at each other, nodding.
Yeah. Like, so yeah, I think that wraps it up for our first episode. Well, we just went right into embodying this podcast host version of ourselves because that felt really good.
Yeah.
I hope that resonated with you and that you're excited for episodes to come. We're aiming to do 1 episode a week from here on out. We'd love to incorporate any questions that you guys have, any topics that you guys want us to cover. We're thinking we'll just have a conversation and flow through whatever comes to us, or we'll cover a topic that we find really interesting. Or if you guys have questions, we can do Q&As. And yeah, anything's possible here at the Life on Purpose podcast. So drop us a message on Instagram. Go follow us over at Instagram at GWTF.club. And we'll see you over there.
Bye, guys.
Bye.